Like this time out in Polokwane against Polokwane City. What of Mamelodi Sundowns then? They are at home against Golden Arrows, look to continue to being one of two sides who are yet to be beaten at home this season. Mamelodi Sundowns, fantastic performances that they've been putting in. They've decided that two changes. We've already spoken about Allende as Santos comes in for him. Ikram Reyners, fresh from a brace, gets an opportunity from the start.
Well-deserved praise from him. I think he gave in a good impression in terms of finding that 2 goals and, of course, having to show the energy. I think I liked his energy also of having to say, I can prove myself, because I think it's something that I've been longing to see from him also, and say it's unfair what's happening to him, but I think he did so good coming in and scoring a brace. Good for him. But you look at the likes of Salas also coming in as a number 10. Mani continues to be really impressive with the opportunity that's given. The back four of Mudao, Kekana, Mukwena, of course, always going to be there to solidify everything.
Three changes then. Shezi is in, Ndlovu is back in, as is Cisse.
When you look at the team, they'll play a 4-2-3-1. At times when they defend, it will be a 4-5-1. I'm looking at Dion to be able to lead the attack. He's also leading in terms of the goal scorers in the Betway Premiership. The creativity of Ndlovu would be key down in that 10 role. They've got Van Roy with the pace and the skill, the ability to find a cross. Gianni brings you that composure, the ability to give the team that composure to build from the back is going to be very important. I look at Cisse and I think he's key. He breaks down play, he initiates play in that midfield. So for me, you are looking at a very compact midfield from Arrows, and also the goals that they can get up top with Dion and also Ndlovu's creativity.
No team has managed a double against Mamelodi Sundowns since 2017-2018. Arrows have got a great opportunity. Let's find out, though, from all 4 coaches what they are thinking ahead.
As the title race intensifies, only a goal separates you from Orlando Pirates on the standings. So goals here today become extremely important.
Well, I don't really think that Mamelodi Sundowns should play thinking on goals. It's a very tricky attitude if we go for that side. I think the most important is that we think match by match. Obviously, the fact that we won the recent ones can sometimes also be tricky if we don't focus on the right energy to approach every match. We've been playing a lot high-level matches, and just a very high commitment can also allow us indeed to achieve the continuity of results that we have to have. Goals in football appear naturally, but the most important in the moment is to secure points. And this is a match that we remember how it was on the first when we played away. We need to be very committed so that we don't make the mistake like we did there in a corner that changed the game, and take it with the highest level of responsibility we can so that we can get the points. Objective points, 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 points.
Coach, you remain the only team to have beaten Mamelodi Sundowns in the league this season. And if anyone can do a double on Sundowns, it would be Coach Mangoba. Brilliant.
You know, it's not even the direction I'm looking at. If I were to get that, I would really appreciate. To get 3 points against Sundowns is probably the most difficult thing you can get in the league. For me, I always regard 3 points against teams like Sundowns as 3 draws away from home. And already that secures you a very good position. I just expect my boys to play freely and do what they've been doing in training. If they get a result, they get a result. If they don't get a result, I will understand they are playing against a very good team, and a team that is currently on form, a team that has really come back stronger after the first round that had a lot of issues. And I honestly believe at the moment they are probably one of the best, if not the best team in the league at the moment.
Those are the coaches then sharing their insights ahead of kickoff. Very quickly, gentlemen, is this the night where both men, being the pace setters for Orlando Pirates, certainly hasn't seemed to cause a bit of struggle for the Buccaneers? Is that going to be the case today as they travel to a notoriously difficult Old Peter Mokaba Stadium? We'll be finding out throughout the course of the evening. And then for Mamelodi Sundowns, they're back home. We've heard from coach Miguel Cardoso, who has not been too happy with the state of the pitch over at Loftus. However, it did not stop him and his side from winning against Sekhukhune United over the weekend. They'll be hoping that the very same can be said come the end of the evening. Very good evening to all of you, wherever you're watching from across the country. Delighted to be alongside you, delighted to be alongside our two analysts who will be telling quite the story this evening. And that story will include the bottom half of the table, because that is where the likes of Polokwane City, who are in the top 8, looking to stay in that top 8, find themselves. Golden Arrows, very same situation. Despite playing some inspired football so far this season, they're currently outside their top 8, looking to, if they get a win against Mamelodi Sundowns this evening, find themselves in that top 8 bracket. Led by, of course, a man who's currently on 10 goal contributions for the season. The top goal scorer this season to date is Junior Dion. He is alongside a number of players who have caused Sundowns problems already back in September in a 1-0 win over in Umlazi. This time around, they are visiting the champions. Will that visit end the same way it did back in September? Some of the questions that we're asking this early on this evening. Once again, very good evening to all of you. Let me take this opportunity to introduce my analysts this evening. They are going to be headlining our conversation. That is Phumudzo Manenze as well as Sbusiso Vilagazi. And Vila, I want to start with you because here we are, 18 matches into the month of March. And we've got two sides who are neck and neck, as you would have seen there on the log, separated just by a single goal.
Yeah, plus a bit neck and neck, right? And we have seen these beautiful two teams having to look at the recent awards that Coach of the Month, which is had gone to Miguel, which is congratulations to him. And then we had seen the Player of the Month really also being outstanding, you know, having with those numbers, with the 6 matches that he had played, 3 assists and 3 goals. So you can see this thing where it's going already. It's neck and neck in all departments. So it's going to be epic.
Yeah, it certainly is going to be epic, especially if you look now. It's basically the last bend, isn't it? The final bend that these two teams are going into.
For me, it's time for emotional intelligence. It's time for the players to enjoy the game and not think about what they can't control. What they can't control is the game at the other stadium where they're not at. Congratulations to Rile Mofokeng, Player of the Month for January and February. Same to Mamelodi Sundowns head coach Kadoso. Today, both those individuals have to assist their team to get maximum points. It's so tight that you can't even wink now if you are a Pirates player or a Sundowns player. If you cough, the other one is moving. So it's going to be an interesting evening tonight.
Yeah, and I started tonight's conversation by saying congratulations to Orlando Pirates, giving them plenty of credit for them being here, because as mentioned, it has been a long time since, at this stage of the season, it isn't just Mamelodi Sundowns who are eyeing the title.
What has been perfect for them, or what have been testing for them, is the consistency level. But I've seen Orlando Pirates having to do a 5 out of 4, which shows consistency, and especially having to win important games. And for me, particularly, I go to the derby where they were outstanding. They used the right approach, they used the right mindset. And for me, it was how then they responded with that game. It showed a game of maturity. It showed how much now they want to be the title contenders. And winning that game, for me, it showed a different approach in them. But at the same time, then you look at Mamelodi Sundowns after that scene, Orlando Pirates having to do business on the other day with the derby. Then Sundowns needed to respond. And they responded very well also on the other side in terms of quality, in terms of goals, players able to respond from then given an opportunity from the Mamelodi Sundowns. Now you're seeing the quality that's starting to rise. And I like what Phumudzo had said. He says now we start to see now the element of the players coming up in these pressure moments. And the one that's able to hold it in is the one that's going to mature in this title race.
Yeah. It's 5 wins in succession now for Mamelodi Sundowns. And traditionally, this is the period where they start to really stamp their authority. We are starting to see that. 5 victories picked up on the chart. The only side in 2026 to win each and every league game they've played.
When you're still talking about the title race and the two teams, this is where you see squad depth. Mahopa comes off the bench over the weekend. He gets the goal.
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns are struggling. It's 1-1. They look at Reyners, he comes off the bench, he scores the goal. So the squad depth is going to be very key. Orlando Pirates, the injury to Mbata. Mbata was okay for the derby. You could see the fluidity in that Orlando Pirates midfield. Then on the other side, you look at an Allende that comes off the bench to give them the maximum points when they played against Amazulu. He comes again over the weekend against Kukune to give them that goal off the bench. A little bit disappointed in seeing that Allende does not get to start. After all the performances that he has given off the bench, the coach knows what he's doing. We are only seeing them on match day, but at training, the coach knows what's happening.
Yeah, that is some of the big news that will be coming out of the Mamelodi Sundowns camp. We'll have a look at their starting lineup in a short while. But first, we are going to be heading over to the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. It is indeed extremely notorious for teams